So hi everyone, this is Justin from the Achievement Squad, coming at you with a collectible guide for Gears 5 HiveBusters DLC. In this video I'm going to show you the location of all collectibles and all ultimate upgrades. So we are now in Chapter 1, and there's 35 in total by the way. You'll eventually come across this guy hanging from a tree. You want to drop down into this area, and straight ahead of you on the rock you're going to find his cog tags.
Lieutenant Deval, confirmed KI.
So a little further in, you're going to eventually come across the downed aircraft, and you would have jumped down on the wall just behind you. So where you see the crash plane for the first time, you'd have hopped down this wall just here. As you're coming down the slope, this is very easy to miss, but just behind this tree, you're going to find a photo on the ground. Eventually, you're going to find yourself at the crashed site itself, the crash site, and you'll be walking through this area just here where all of the DB kind of stuff is all destroyed. As you enter this area, you want to take a right and you want to follow a path up a hill, and at the top of the hill you want to take a left and keep walking past all the different guns, and eventually you're going to find a coin on the floor at the top here.
Late, good to go.
Now as you get further into the chapter, you're going to be greeted by this stunning piece of scenery looking out to sea. And as eventually you'll come across this as part of the natural progression. This collectible is actually on the main path, and it's the last collectible for this chapter. Head on down just by the crash propeller. You want to drop down into the area below, and next to the body over here, you're going to find the ONYX guard helmet. So we are now in Chapter 2, and we are just opening up the door into the main part of this level area. Now as you come through, we're going to get our first ultimate ability. So head through the door, and just in front of you by the boxes, you're going to find your first ultimate upgrade. You want to pick that one up. The next collectible that you're going for is right next to the ultimate ability upgrade. So turn around and you want to make your way back through the door on the right hand side. You'll see this notice here saying restricted area, and you want to make your way up at this little stair set, and by the open locker you're going to find the next collectible. And then just after this one, you eventually reach this room with this kind of little hot lava pool in the middle. Make your way across to the left hand side. You're going to enter one of the bedrooms, and you want to make your way into the very back room on the left, and then inside the locker you're going to find next collectible.
Would rather die in the sunshine than live underground. Give me vast open spaces.
Now that you have this one, we're going to need to do a bit of activity with Mac. So exit the room, and this room on the the right that you can see is now currently locked. But make your way down the slope, and as you get down to the bottom, you're going to see this panel on the left, which you can press X on. This is going to allow Mac to open up the doors. So have him do the needful to this panel. Once this is over, you want to turn to the left and you want to follow the pathway back up to where you came from, and the room on the right is now open. Once you go inside, go up to the lock, and then once you go inside, the next collectible will be inside on the table just to your right. The next collectible, so we make our way back down to where Mac was originally, and on the right hand side you'll see the door is now open. This one opened up as part of Mac unlocking the panel. You'll need to enter a code. I got a bit excited and entered the code nice and early. But in here on the table just in front of the sofas, you're going to find your next collectible. So now we're a little bit further on, and you'll be in this room with this red drill-like looking thing with loads of swarm pods down in the bottom. You want to hop into this area, and on the left-hand side, you're going to find another panel that Mac can interact with. Have him open up this panel.
Hey Mac, think you can take a look at this?
Oh, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, well, this doesn't look too complicated.
And once you get inside, you'll see a bunch of rejects that need to be dealt with, cutting that short so you don't have to watch. Now make your way to the back of the room, and in the left corner you are going to find the next document you need to collect. So now the next upgrade is found on our main path, so going from this collectible, we want to turn around and we want to exit out of the greenhouse-esque room. And we want to take a left as we exit out. And we want to head down the stairs. And then we're going to take a left as if we're following the main path. And then just on the left hand side as you enter this room, you'll see it on the floor straight ahead of you. So the next place you're in is going to be a bit more of a swarm infested area. You'll have to deal with a couple of folks in this place first of all. Once you're in here though, you want to head down the stairs. And as you proceed forward, and this room's full of pods normally, you'll see a door on the right hand side that is open. You want to enter here, and then straight ahead of you, you're going to find the next collectible. For the next one, we are going to have cleared out this entire room full of enemies, and it'll be a frosty room. You'll just clear a set of kind of fire trials before this. Now don't follow the main path, but take a left, and the pouncer would have come from this room originally. So you'll need to clear the room out first of all, and you want to make your way down to the very end of this hallway, and then on your left hand side you're going to find the next collectible on a set of boxes. And now on to our next upgrade from this one. So we want to exit back out of this room that we just came in, so following on from the last collectible in this video. So turn around, head out back into the chili room. You want to take a left and you want to follow that up some stairs. And as you come up to this main path, there'll be a door ahead of you. You just want to go through that one. And as you come up on the corner by these boxes, you're going to find the upgrade just here on the floor. Now this collectible is just after a pretty hectic encounter, and you're going to be in a room where you can go to the right to exit the level, but this one we want to take a left and we want to follow the pathway around to the very top, and here on the left hand side hanging up on the wall we are going to find a poster to be collected. So that is the last collectible for this chapter. Chapter 3 has no collectibles, so we're going straight to chapter 4, and eventually you're going to reach this village where there is some form of rave going on. As you enter this area, take a right and go up some stairs, and you want to enter this kind of shed, and on the left hand side as you enter this shed you're going to find a set of bones, and the document is just next to the bones here. Now we're going for our next upgrade. So from that collectible we want to turn around and we want to exit the room, and we're going to strut our stuff and go as fast as we can down here. So exit out and we want to take a left whilst everybody else gets in my way. Head down the stairs, and as you get down to the stairs you can take a right just here, and you want to keep going down, and at the bottom of these stairs hang a right and you want to enter this room just ahead of you, and you're going to find your next upgrade. Now we're going for a collectible, which is a mask. So from the point of where you were kind of looking at the dubstep house, there is a room to your left that you'll need to follow for the main path to go forward. This is kind of an easy landmark to work with, as it's something you see when you walk into the level. But on the left, this door is already open, but you'll need to open it up. You want to follow this around into the left even further. Ignore the door on the right, and you want to exit via the left. And outside on the table, you are going to find the mask. So you would need to progress a little bit further for the next collectible, but once you reach this area, you'll see a large tree, some volcanoes in the background, and more music. You'll need to make your way down into this area. You want to take a left as you come into here, and you want to follow this pathway around. This door's already open again, apologise, but as you enter this room here, you're going to find your next upgrade on the floor. So from this previous upgrade, we want to turn around and we want to exit the room that we are currently in. So about turn, and then as you come out onto the walkway, you want to take a left, go up some stairs and you want to take a right, and you're going to follow this pathway around to the left. And then when you take a right, you're going to come up on a small hut just here. And in this hut, you want to take a left and enter, and on the dining table in front of you, you'll find your next collectible. So next up, you're going to be in the party hall, where the party was going down. And just to the right of the tables, looking at the main statue at the back, you are going to find your next ultimate upgrade between the two pillars just on the floor, on the right hand side by the windows. From this point onwards, you have a big battle out in this kind of open market area, and you'll see the house ahead of you is the way forward. And on your right hand side, you've got a snatcher that has been javelined to crazy. You want to go behind this snatcher, and you want to make your way through the back. And on the top of the stairs, just by that snatcher, you are going to find that next upgrade. Now this is just after you've gone through the door by the snatcher. It's pretty much straight after the last collectible. Ahead of you there is a little table in this room with yellow wavy lines, and on that table you're going to find a canoe collectible. Now the next collectible is not too long afterwards, but eventually you'll come across this snazzy looking building. Do not enter it just yet, but before you go up the stairs, and this is when you're on your way to the temple, look to your left and you're going to see a upgrade just sat on the wall by that temple. Now once you've met up with your friends from the swarm again, you're going to be in this area full of pods per se, and the area with the volcano quite nicely visible in the background. Now head down this area where the juvie with the pitchfork in his back is, take a right and you want to head to the end, and you're going to find this altar. On top of the altar is a ceremonial bone. Now eventually you're going to meet a room where there are silverbacks here, and in the room where there is a silverback, right on the workbench just to the right of it, you're going to find the next collectible, and you just want to grab that one, and that is the last collectible for this chapter. Now chapter 5 only has one collectible, and this is when you are back outside. So you're going to eventually walk into this area where it's quite nice flashy looking jungle kind of setup, and you're going to come across some dead swarm on the floor. Now this is easy to miss because it just looks like an ammo collectible, but literally next to the juvie and the locust like folks, you want to pick this one up and you'll find a melted skull. We are now in chapter number 6, and eventually you hit this altar from earlier in the game, and there'll be a little cutscene. Behind that altar and just on the left, you're going to find this statue holding on to the next collectible. And as you proceed along the main path, you're going to encounter this effigy, and you want to make your way into the room that is behind it on the middle. And in that room, you're going to find your next upgrade, and actually directly next to that is our next collectible. So from that upgrade, you want to turn around and you want to exit this room, and you want to head to the left or to the right, depending on how you turn around. And at the bottom of this Buddha-like statue, you're going to find this weird childlike carving thing. So eventually you're going to hit this quite nice temple-orientated area, and Lahni's going to be talking about some of her history. You're going to see this kind of half-broken archway, and to your right is the path forward. But do not go forward just yet because you can't get back up. You want to make your way down the stairs, and you're going to find your next upgrade at the bottom of the stairs. And now for our last upgrade in the game. So you'll hit this pretty awesome looking environment eventually. And there's going to be a section where you'll go through some reeds, and you'll go back into a temple, past a breaker mace. And just in the right hand corner, you are going to find the upgrade on the floor. That's going to complete all upgrades for the game. That was 12 upgrades in total, so that should bag you the achievement for finding all of these. 5G, well worth it. And then for our actual next collectible, it is directly behind this ultimate upgrade, and it's an axe that is actually just stuck in the wall. It's very easy to miss, but it's stuck into the tree stump. You want to pick that one up. And now for probably the most missable collectible in the game. Eventually you'll come across this downed plane, CONDOR I think it is, and you want to make your way inside, and you want to take a right as you enter, and on top of the boxes, very well hidden, you're going to find a disk drive that you need to grab. And now for the last collectible. So in this case, you would have just come out of the actual downed plane itself, and you would have pushed through these routes just here. And as you kind of walk through this pathway, you'll see an engine on your right hand side as you're coming down. As you step underneath this branch, you'll drop down, and you're going to want to take a right, and you want to follow the pathway around with the rock. And in the middle of the routes here, you're going to find the last collectible in the game. I've been Drastic from the Achievement Squad. If you find this guide useful, drop us a like, comment, subscribe, and happy hunting.